Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with my 30th Minx Monday Q&A. And before we get started, I just wanted to do a special shout out to my girl, Cindy. Her hubby actually just tracked down, was able to find a Louis Vuitton multicolor cosmetic pouch for their anniversary. So congratulations on such a wonderful piece that you're getting, and also congratulations on your anniversary. I hope you really enjoy it. Okay, so let's get started with the very first question. Okay, so Fiji Chick, if I remember correctly, a while back you mentioned you had your eyes on the delightful NM in Demi Azur, and I was wondering if you still plan on purchasing that piece and what your thoughts are on the bag. I absolutely still love the bag. I was contacted by Louis Vuitton to see if I was going to go ahead and move forward with the purchase, and I decided against it because I got a ton of bags when I was in Europe, and I still want to be able to use those, and I just don't want to keep adding without fully using any of my bags. So I passed on it for now, and I absolutely love it. I have heard some people say that the strap drop is a little bit shorter than the previous one, so that kind of sets me off a little bit. I'm a little bit worried about that, but the color of the interior I absolutely love. It's like Pepto-Bismol pink or bubblegum pink. I don't know, but I love it. You can't go wrong with pink, especially when it comes to me. So I like it, and I hopefully will probably try to add it to my collection sooner than later. But then again, I'm happy with my collection the way that it is now. Like I said, I got a few pieces that I didn't think I would get anytime, or like the Speedy 30. I never thought I would get that, so I want to be able to try to enjoy that bag before I keep adding more onto the family. Okay, and FN Brown Newbie, I'm so sorry. But before I continue, I just want to let you guys know, I had to shorten some of the questions just to make sure that I can get as many questions in this video as possible. So if I altered it a little bit, it's just pretty much because I made it shorter. That's all it is. Okay, so I shortened this one. What are your thoughts on the Rodeo Drive bag in Amarant? I'm thinking about buying my friend's. Can it be used as a day bag? And I think from what she said in her comment, her friend actually attached 2 keychain chains to the Rodeo Drive bag to make it more of a shoulder bag. And to be honest, I really like it. I think if you were to keep the shoulder or the chains and leave it as a shoulder bag, I think it's great to transition from day to night. Even if you didn't want to do that and you use the Rodeo Drive bag just the way that it is, I think it is a wonderful bag for parties, for special occasions. The vernis is absolutely beautiful with on the Rodeo Drive because they have the contrast of the gold tone hardware, and it just looks very nice. So I say yes, go for it. If she's going to sell it to you, heck yes, snatch that thing up. Okay, Vanel Cotlong. Hey Minnie, I'm looking to pick up my first Chanel piece. Which item would you recommend to start my collection? As I mentioned before, I usually like to start off with SLGs, which stands for small leather goods, before I really dive into a brand, because for the simple fact that you might not necessarily like the way that the leather is or the hardware or stuff like that. So like I said, I like to start with the small items, and this is the one that I would start off with first. And this is the Chanel O card case, and it's just a simple credit card case. It has 1 slip pocket on the front, 2 on the back, and then when you open it up, it has a pretty small, or a pretty big size for more cards in there. And I really like it. I like the fact that you're able to interact with it on a daily basis. You can really get a feel for the caviar leather, not so much as the hardware, because it has very minimal hardware, but especially for me, the leather, the way that the leather wears, and the way that it looks. If in 2 months time it ends up looking tattered and torn, chances are I'm not going to dive into a $3,000 bag. So that's why I always say to start off with the smaller items first and then get a feel for the brand. So the Chanel O card case, and I believe this retails for $410 here in the States. At least it was when I purchased it. I think it might have gone up. I'm not too sure. But I actually did a video on it, and I'll make sure and link that down below. Okay. Everyday Glam. What are your thoughts on the Louis Vuitton Saint Germain Pochette? Do you think it's better to hold out for a Chanel walk? Okay, so the Louis Vuitton Saint Germain Pochette is a wonderful bag. It retails for $1,670 here in the States versus a Chanel walk that retails anywhere from, or that starts at $1,900 and up. And it's really a matter of preference. If you ask me, would I get the Saint Germain or would I get the walk? I would hands down get the walk because of a few different reasons. I like the simplicity of it, and it's a bag that if I ever decided to sell it in the future, I know that I would get exactly what I pay for it, maybe if not a little bit less. So it holds, I mean, their resale value is amazing when it comes to the Chanel walks. But I really, really love the way that it looks. And truth be told, the Saint Germain Pochette actually holds more than the walk, in my opinion. The walk is a little bit thinner. And depending upon what kind of, whether you get lambskin or whether you get the caviar, the lambskin obviously, in my eyes, is a little bit more delicate. So the Saint Germain Pochette is the empreinte leather, and I absolutely love the leather. I love the look of the bag, and I feel that it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing as a Chanel walk, only a different brand. And obviously they have their different spin as far as, you know, Louis Vuitton characteristics and whatnot. But I absolutely love the bag. So if you're thinking about getting it and you're holding out for a walk, like you said, it's really a tough call because, oh man, I think I don't know. I think if you were only to get one, I'd say hold out for the walk. Because like I said, I think they're fantastic pieces. I've actually been using my chevron one this last weekend, and then maybe later on you can get the Saint Germain. But they're either way, it's a fantastic bag, and I honestly think I want to add it to my collection. I absolutely love it. Okay, Isabella Black. What is the best way to store my GM Neverfull when not in use? The way that I store mine, and I don't know if you guys can tell, down there is my monogram Neverfull, and mine's in the MM size. Make sure that when you store it, if you can, try to get air paper and stuff your bag as much as you can so that it can hold its shape, especially because the GM doesn't have a lot of, it's very thin material, and you want to make sure that it holds its shape. Otherwise it'll start to kind of cave in, and you don't want that, because if you don't use it for a various amount of months or weeks, it might, the canvas, it might, I'm not saying it will, it might tend to crack if it's left in the same shape and kind of just, you know, like I said, caved over. But you want to make sure it keeps its shape. Number one, I know I've said that like a million times already, but keep its shape. And depending upon whether it's the Vachetta or the treated leather, you want to make sure that you cover the tabs as much as you can. Sometimes the dust bags that they give you, they're not as big as they should be. But I do believe the Neverfull GM dust bag is huge, so you should have no problem being able to hide all the Vachetta so that the sun doesn't hit it, or just, you know, normal humidity or anything like that. But make sure that thing is stuffed full. And when you're putting it away, make sure the little tabs that it has on the sides of the bag, you actually angle it right directly where the bag is. So if the bag is, I wish I would have pulled mine out. If the bag is right here and you have your the little tassels here, make sure you put them as close as you can to the body of the bag, because again, over time, if you leave the bag in the dust bag and you kind of just don't really worry about those tassels, the leather might end up not turning, but it'll kind of start to take its own shape and form, and then when you take it out, it might be a little, you know, misaligned, if you will. So just be very careful on when you're putting it away. I am very, very OCD about how I store my bags, just because I want to make sure they keep their shape. But like I said, and I know I keep saying it, I will make sure and I will do a storage video, especially for Louis Vuitton for you guys in the next couple of weeks, just so you guys can kind of, well, I'm going to show you guys what I do with my bags, and hopefully give you guys some ideas on maybe storing your own bags. Okay, Christina Conclaves. I'm so in love with the Louis Vuitton Marie Lou Marie Lou long wallet. Which color would you get? And the Marie Lou long wallet retails for $805 here in the States. And it's pretty much epi leather and monogram canvas combined. And it is a fantastic piece. I think it's beautiful. It has it's a very different interpretation of what a wallet might be. It has, to me, it kind of reminds me of older characteristics with a snap button closure on the inside for coin. And I think it's a beautiful bag. And if I were to get one, I think I would probably do the fuchsia, either the fuchsia and the monogram or the grenade and the monogram, because the grenade is one of my favorite colors for a wallet. And between the contrast of the brown with the pink, I think it'll look great. But it is a great wallet. Okay, Teresa Moore. I have a jumbo flap black bag with gold hardware, and I am wanting to add a red bag to my purse collection. I was thinking of getting the GST in red caviar. What do you think? Oh my gosh. You don't even have to ask me, because I'll say hands down, get it. I absolutely love the GST with the red caviar leather, but I would choose the silver hardware versus the red. I think that the silver looks a lot more chic on the red bag, but I am obsessed. To the extent of the word obsessed with that bag. It is so beautiful. And I really wish I would have been able to add that to my collection. But you never know. What if they come out with a pink GST for a seasonal color, right? You never know. So yes, go for it. Okay. Rachel Q. What do you think of Chanel patent leather? Some people love it. Some people think it looks cheap and tacky. I am considering buying a Preloved mini flap. Okay. So when it comes to patent leather, I'm not a big fan of it, even though we all know Vernis is pretty much the same thing for Louis Vuitton. To me, I'll be honest, I am not a big fan of the Chanel patent leather. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it. I don't think it looks tacky. I don't think it ages very well, in my opinion. Depending upon how you care for it, I feel that sometimes I don't know. It's a tough question, because I know that they have the new patent leather that has kind of like, it looks like caviar leather, but it's patent. And that one doesn't show any fingerprints on it whatsoever. So maybe if all the bags kind of looked like that, I would be okay with it. But if we're talking about a quilted patent leather Chanel bag, I am definitely not a fan of it. I prefer Vernis over Chanel for patent leather. So yeah, I've seen older bags and I am not crazy about the way that they age. So for that reason, I personally would have to say I'm not a fan. No, but there's nothing wrong with it. Everyone's prerogative, but just not mine. Okay. Tara Harders, what is your opinion on baby wiping the Vachetta to help with patina? I am not a fan of wiping down Vachetta whatsoever with baby wipes. I know it's either people have done it and they love the results of it, and other people are just kind of like, absolutely don't do it. I'm one of those people. I feel that the leather should age on its own the way that leather should, without any chemicals or anything like that. And if you were to clean the Vachetta or to start the patina process a little bit faster, I would go with leather conditioner or leather cleaner as far as what I would use on the leather itself. I would not use baby wipes. I know tons of people that have used it, and like I said, they absolutely love the outcome of it, but I'm not one of those. I like its natural state, and I love the story that the leather tells when it does kind of get, its own little dirty spots. Okay. Deeks09081. Sorry, there is something in my eye or my contact, and it is bothering me. I'm new to the LV world, and my question is, why does everyone seem to get upset or sad when their LVs aren't made in France? This is a great question. The best way that I can describe it is kind of like buying a very expensive bottle of French wine you can't wait to taste it. You can't wait to try it. It sounds fantastic. It even tastes great. And then you look down at the bottom of the bottle and you find out it's made in San Diego, California. Yeah. Not a big fan of that. I think it's because a lot of us LV addicts, there's some people out there that prefer their bags be made in the US or made in Spain or made in Italy, but I am a huge made in France snob. I just feel that it's a French fashion house, a Parisian fashion house, and there's just something about seeing the made in France sticker or the made in France tabs that say that just kind of makes my heart sing even more for the bag or for the item. It just kind of, it's almost like you get confirmation of its authenticity. I know it sounds silly, and I know you can get a bag that's made in the US, here in the US, and you know it's from Louisvuitton. You get it from the boutique, but there's something, I don't know, I wish I knew exactly how to explain it, but it's kind of like, yes, it's made in France. And when we get that made in France tab and we see it, oh my goodness, it just makes your experience, it makes the bag that much better for whatever reason. Plus, the resale value on made in France bags is a lot higher versus those made in the US or made in Spain. So as far as future goes, the made in France is definitely one that you want to stick with. But I don't know what it is, to be honest. We're lunatics when we get down to it, because I know I'm obsessed. The first thing I'll look at, where's it made? And, is it made in France? And then I just get this grin from ear to ear that it's made in France. Like I said, confirmation that it is Louis Vuitton. I have no idea. But you kind of, I don't know, you expect it because like I said, it's a French fashion house and you want to see that there. So that's the best way that I can explain it. I don't know. I don't know if everyone feels the same way I do, but that's the best way that I can say it. Okay. All right. Nicole Ramirez. I've wanted the Babylon PM in the color Galette for a while now. What are your thoughts on the bag? And if you could please touch on the subject of buyer's remorse. The Babylon PM, they actually, it took over the Mahina leather bag, the XL, and it is a beautiful bag. I'm not one for slouchy bags. It retails for $4,100 here in the States for the PM, and it comes in 4 beautiful colors, very soft, light colors. And the best way that I can describe it, it kind of reminds me of if the artsy was a person, the Louis Vuitton artsy was a person, I feel that the Babylon PM is the artsy's rich, sophisticated aunt. That's what I feel the bag is. It's extremely classy. Like I said, it has, it's slouchy leather. It has microfiber leather lining. It has loads of space inside. It has a braided handle. It's a one handle, plus it comes with a longer, like a crossbody strap. It is a beautiful bag, and maybe if it didn't come with a crossbody strap, it'd be something that I would personally like. But it is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So the artsy's rich, sophisticated aunt who has millions. That's the way that I can describe it. And the artsy itself is a beautiful bag. Oh man, I don't know what's going on with my voice. I feel like it's going in and out. I might be getting sick. Who knows? Okay, T4Me10. I want to add one en-prompt bag to my collection. What would you recommend? Again, I think I would probably go for the Saint Germain Pochette, if not the Saint Germain MM or the PM. I think it is a beautiful bag. You can really get a feel for the leather without it being too overwhelming. At first I thought I was going to say the artsy, but I have heard people say that bag is extremely heavy. So I would want to start off maybe a little bit smaller and then work my way up to bigger bags, depending upon how I liked the leather. But definitely the Saint Germain is a beautiful, beautiful bag. And I think it retails for $25.60 here in the States for the PM. I could be wrong though. Okay. Nettie Ward, do you regret selling any of your bags? And if so, which one would you buy again? Or if you don't, is there any bag in your collection that you would consider rebuying, but in a different print, color, or leather? Whew, that's a great question. My very good friend, Nettie Ward. Make sure to check out her YouTube channel. She is fabulous. I think I don't regret selling any of my bags. Absolutely not. Because I really like the collection I have right now. I am very content with the prints that I have and the styles that I have. So I absolutely love this end effect that I have right now. And had I not sold those, I would have never been able to fall in love with some of these beauties. Now, what bag would I consider rebuying but in a different print, color, or leather? Ooh, that's a good question. I think I'd probably have to say the Neverfull in Epi Black. Definitely. I think it is a stunning bag, and I absolutely love the Neverfull, and I think it would be a beautiful, beautiful bag to add to my collection. It might be a little bit heavier because it's on prompt, but I'm okay with that. Okay, next one. What the heck is going on? Oh, I wrote it on the wrong one. Okay, and the next one is from my very good friend Ashley here on YouTube, BMW A5H, which actually, when I'm looking at it, is BMW Ash, since his name is Ashley. Again, he has a YouTube channel. Check it out. He is absolutely fabulous as well. And he asks, would you ever venture into a luxury watch purchase, i.e. Rolex, Cartier, etc.? If so, what would make your heart sing? Also, I would love to see you do my tag, BMW Ash or A5H, top 5 Lux pieces. It's a good one. It's a hard one, but a good one. Absolutely, I would love to add a very high-end watch to my collection, or to, my collection of watches that I have. If I had to pick out of all those watches, I would probably go for a Cartier watch. I believe it's called, oh, I thought I wrote it down. It's called a Tank watch, and it retails for $7,300 here in the States, and it would be the extra large steel, and it is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love large watches. I don't like small, dainty watches, and I think it is just beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful watch. So absolutely I would, because I'm obsessed with watches. I just tend to have, the little mid-range Michael Kors and whatnot, but Cartier, absolutely. And yes, I will definitely be doing your tag video, maybe later this week, if not next week. So thank you for tagging me. Okay, Elaine Howard. She has 3 questions. Is it possible for you to put a picture of the handbag, purse, wallet on the screen, as it would make a massive difference? You know what? I used to do that with my Minx Mondays, but I decided not to because of copywriting. If I have the bag itself, I will be more than happy to show it to you guys if I remember, like I forgot with the Neverfull. But mostly because of copywriting laws, I don't want to step on anyone's toes, so I will not be doing that. Number 2, your statement necklaces are gorgeous. Have you done a collection for them? No, I haven't. You guys can't see it, but behind you guys, or behind the camera, I actually have a 5 foot tall, or maybe a 4.5 foot tall armoire, and I have my Tiffany's jewelry in there. I have a bunch of stud earrings, and I have a lot of necklaces in there that are mostly statement pieces, as well as the ones behind me. The ones behind me are the ones that I use the most. And then I don't know, I kind of go through those. But if you guys would like, let me know. Half of them, I don't even know the names. Other ones I've just, kind of collected over the years. So let me know if you guys would like to see more of them. I'd be more than happy to show you. Okay, and number 3, your hair always looks so glossy and healthy. Thank you very much, and just beautiful. Could I ask what products you use? I actually don't use any products. I used to use the Garnier, the serum. Oh gosh, what's it called? I don't remember, but I'll make sure and put it on the description box below if I remember. It's just a serum that I used to use, and I no longer use it. Believe it or not, I actually purchased the wet shine brush that I talked about briefly in my March favorites, and that is all I use. I literally get out of the shower and I brush my hair and I air dry it. I don't blow dry my hair. I blow dry it maybe a handful of times throughout the year because of the damaging effects on it. but I know damaging effects as far as brushing your hair when you get out of the shower, right? It's either one evil or another. But I don't use anything. My hair is naturally pretty straight, and I don't know. I don't really use anything, truth be told, and I use really cheap shampoo because I've noticed that the more expensive the shampoo, for me anyways, it tends to make my hair very greasy and not so nice. But thank you so much for the wonderful compliment. Okay, oh my goodness, I'm going to try to get through these as fast as I possibly can. Jess Munoz 4, would you prefer to buy pre-loved or brand new for bags that are easy to find in boutiques? Example, favorite, Eva, Neverfull. Really, it depends upon if I wanted to have a good patina or not. If I know I'm going to get patina on it eventually and I'm not going to baby the bag, then definitely I will go for pre-loved. But if I don't, if I want to try to keep it as new as possible, I will definitely buy it brand new or in the boutique. Okay, Maria Garcia. She has 3 questions. Could you do a video on your luggage tags? And do you have to buy them in the store or can you get them online? No, you can only buy them in the store. And last I heard, they were really cracking down on them. And you pretty much have to bring in your Keepall or your Speedy or whatever it is, not your Speedy, to be able to show them that you really do have a piece that needs a luggage tag. But it all depends. If you have a great essay, they'll be able to get them for you. And yes, when I do my, I was going to do a video on how to tie a luggage tag. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a luggage tag collection video and then how to tie it at the very end. So I'm going to try to put those 2 videos together. Okay. What is your favorite TV show? This is a great question. My all-time favorite TV show would have to be Seinfeld. I absolutely love Seinfeld. I know every single solitary episode by heart. You guys know I love to laugh. So I'm just remembering some of the episodes in my mind right now. So Seinfeld, all-time favorite. And current, since I don't watch too much TV, I'm really boring because I really like Law and Order SVU. I really wish I would have been a detective in another lifetime. But I don't know. And they always have it on like USA Network for there's marathons every single day. So I can come home and pretty much plop down in front of the TV and watch it for hours on end. But current SVU, Law and Order, and all-time favorite Seinfeld, hands down. Okay, and 3, do you own or use any base shapers? No, I do not. Okay, Johnny C. What do you, he has 2 questions. What do you think of the Louis Vuitton Capucine handbag? Would you consider getting one? Absolutely. I think the Capucine is a beautiful statement piece that Louis Vuitton has made, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous bag, and I would be happy to own it in my collection. So I think maybe sometime down the down the far future, it'll be one of the bags that I would like to acquire. Definitely. I keep saying definitely a lot, right? I think I'm probably at like a count of 30. And number 2, what advice or tips do you have for someone like me who just started a channel? Well, those of you that know, I don't edit my videos. So some people would rather see edited professional videos. I consider myself very raw. I mess up on camera all the time. I'm pretty much myself. And I think that when you start a channel, you should be true to who you are. Don't try to change yourself because of what you think someone might like. Don't ever do that. Just be yourself 100% of the time, because if they ever met you in real life, you don't want them to come back and say, oh, he seems a lot more different when he's on camera versus in real life. If you guys ever met me in real life, this is exactly who I am. I laugh at the stupidest things. I make myself laugh, and I just like to have a good time. So be yourself. Okay, Nicole M. How many LV jewelry pieces do you own? I actually own 1, which is the Spirit bracelet that my hubby bought me. Other than that, I don't own anything. Okay, Tiffany Ann. my very good friend Tiffany, what do you know about Monsieur Gravel bags? Just curious if you heard anything about this brand. Yes, I have. This particular brand was actually launched in 2013, and their most popular bag is the drawstring bucket bag. And you know what? I've never really thought about purchasing one. I absolutely admire both co-creators because they are still a very small company and they don't want to grow at a very fast rate because they feel that the quality will diminish, and they really want to stick, they want to stay true to what they do and what they like. So they're going to try to stay a little bit smaller than, just going out there and going full blown into a major fashion house. I know that they've been asked by a lot of investors, if they want to kind of take their company public and do this, that, and the other, and they just kind of want to stay, down where with what they like, with their roots and their passion, which is handbags. So I absolutely admire them for doing that, because sometimes I think companies will lose sight of what they want to put out there because of money. And these ladies have really taken into consideration what it means to be one of a kind. So I absolutely love them. And who knows, I might add one of their bags to my collection. Okay, and Ben Laurie, I'm 5'1". Do you think a Keepall 55 would be too big for me? I would love to get a 50, however, it only comes in the monogram print. You know what? No, I don't think it's too big, especially because it tends to sag depending upon how much you put in there. I am 5'3", 5 foot, who knows? It depends who you ask. And I think it's a great size bag. It might be a little big, but at the same time, sometimes I rather go big or go home. Currently, I have a 55 monogram and a 45 in the demi ébène, and I'm happy with having both of them. And I think the 55 is a great size, especially because that's the biggest that you can take with you as a carry-on on an airplane. So I say go for it. Okay, Anessa A. I think this is my last question. I'm trying to speed through these as fast as possible. Anessa A. Is it better to collect many different brands and have one from each designer? Or is it better to stick with one brand and collect different pieces from one brand? From one brand. I can't even talk. This is a fantastic question. As you're looking behind me, you can see that I mostly have Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is my first love, and it's one of the fashion houses that I am more so inclined to buy. And I have a few Chanels here on my left side, but I honestly think, would you have asked me this a few years ago, a few months ago, I probably would have said, no, diehard Louis Vuitton fan, only stick with Louis Vuitton. But you don't really get to know other brands if you don't try them out. Who knows, you might find a beautiful bag in Prada that you would have never looked at had you only stuck to one brand. Excuse me. And I think that sometimes you want to try other bags because you can really get a feel for what the fashion houses are thinking and what they're trying to convey into the public, or when you carry that bag, what it makes you feel. And I think I absolutely love that. So that's why I personally am trying to get a few other different bags to try them out. Case in point, Celine. I never thought I would own a Celine. I wasn't a big fan of them before. I could appreciate them, yes, but I didn't really give them a second chance. And now I own a Phantom, and I am absolutely obsessed with that bag. So if I only stuck to what I like, or what I thought I'd like, I probably wouldn't be able to give other fashion houses a chance. And I feel that bags are an expression of our personalities, and they are the ultimate accessory. So you want to make sure you look as crisp and clean as you possibly can with that fantastic bag, no matter what brand it is. So I say variety. Variety is always good. Okay, and I think I have room for one more answer, or one more question. Fake Pink. I own a Speedy 30 in mono, and I'm thinking about getting a Speedy 25 in mono to have it as a dedicated crossbody bag. Do you think it is a bit redundant to have the same style and same print, or should I opt for something like the Demi Ben in 25 instead? I'm nervous about buying a mono because I don't know how the canvas wears. Do you regret getting it? Okay, so this is another great question. I have multiple bags, but in different prints. And the main reason why I decided to get a mono in the first place is because I knew that once I had a mono, I wouldn't be using my classic Speedy 30 in monogram. I would only go for one because they were both going to be the same size. And I really do, maybe not redundant, but I feel that you will probably end up leaning more towards one, maybe, even though you might think, oh, no, I think I'll still use both bags, you know, the same amount of time. I feel that if it were me, I would definitely gravitate towards one bag constantly, and then the other one won't be used as much because it's the same print. It's just 5 centimeters shorter. So in my opinion, I would go for a different print, definitely. And I think you said that the Demi Ben was not a print that you like, so I wouldn't go for a bag that you don't like the print, because chances are you probably won't use it. Go for what you absolutely like. If you think that you want the 25 instead of the 30, try out the 25. Go to the store, see how it feels. Put your stuff in there, because it's a tough call, because there's a lot of people out there that have the same bag in different prints and same sizes. So what do I have? I have a Speedy 30 mono. I have a Speedy 30 in Demi Azur and a Speedy 35 in Demi Ben. And I really like the way that I was able to get the end result of those three. The Speedy 30 I think is a great size for summer. The 35 in Demi Ben is a perfect size for winter. And the mono is just a great all around everyday, throughout the year bag. So always stick to what you like. It doesn't matter if you think it's redundant. If you like both bags and you think you will use both bags, go for it. Absolutely. And do I regret getting my mono? Absolutely not. I love that bag. I have had so many compliments on that bag. And it's pretty much designed specifically for me, and I absolutely love that. So I say go for it. If it's something you like, try it out a little bit at the store, get a feel for it, and who knows, you might end up just changing your mind and just sticking to the 30. So hopefully I was able to answer your question. I didn't mean to go on too long of a tangent. I'm at 37 minutes right now. I think this is the longest Minx Monday that I have ever made. I hope I didn't bore you guys, and like I said, I have a lot of videos in store for you this week. As soon as I turn this camera off, I will be making my unboxing video, so I will be wearing the same outfit. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.